So my life before Jesus was messy. It was all over the place. I didn't really have direction, although I thought that I did, because I'm a very motivated person. So I had a great job. I was a hard worker. Anything I wanted to accomplish, I was able to do, but not realizing that a lot of what I felt like was motivation was really me seeking more from life and just feeling like I was in control. And so I was able to make a lot of healthy behaviors unhealthy. I struggled for years with eating. I thought that it was just me being healthy, but it was more so me feeling like I had control of my life in areas that I didn't realize I didn't actually have control in. And my relationships were not great. I really struggled with connecting with people on a deep level. I feel like I was always chasing after people who didn't really care about me, but then I wasn't great to the people who were good to me. And it was a struggle. And everyone was replaceable. There was nothing that I felt like I couldn't do on my own. I was very independent. And then fast forward to about 2 weeks before my 25th birthday, I found out I was pregnant. And coming from someone who didn't think she was ever going to have kids, was never going to get married, it was definitely a life-changing experience for me. Not having my son was never an option for me. It was definitely a challenge. Being someone who was living in the fast lane, always doing what I wanted when I wanted, it was relearning myself and relearning the person that I'm supposed to be and who I needed to be for him. He was about 2 or 3 years old, and my body just couldn't handle it anymore, and I ended up going into tachycardia one day at work. And after that, I developed debilitating anxiety, agoraphobia. I was unable to leave my house. I couldn't work. I couldn't go to the grocery store. It was the darkest time in my life. I got into yoga, meditation, all of the new agey things. Because I don't do things halfway, I ended up becoming a yoga instructor. I was that girl that walked around, relied on crystals, and I had stones like in my pockets at any given time. And I looked to that. I looked to my spirituality as a way to help me heal and get to a place where I felt like I was stable and grounded. My son has always had this, he'd always ask a lot of questions throughout the years about Jesus and the Bible, and I never knew where it came from. I didn't talk about it at home. I didn't have a relationship with him. And I would ask him, I'm like, where did you hear about God from? And he's like, oh, God talks to me. And I'm like, kid, I don't know. But I thought, maybe he heard it on TV, on, the internet, who knows. But we just kind of left it alone. He had asked to go to church throughout the years, and I never really gave in. And then about a year and a half ago, I had just come out of a very unhealthy relationship, and my heart was open. And he asked again. He's like, hey, Mom, can we go to church? And I was like, you know what, why not? We could try it out. I can take any of my, beliefs, and I can just kind of take Jesus out of it. I didn't have to necessarily put him in the mix. And so we went to a couple different churches just to try it out. And when we came to Christ Community, he loved it here. So I was like, all right, we'll stay here, why not? And I don't remember the exact service that it was, but I do remember after coming for, a few times, I felt that tug on my heart. And, I did the prayer of salvation, and I gave my life to Jesus. And it was in that moment that I knew, I'm like, this is what I've been searching for. This is what I've been looking for my whole life. I was a very obsessive, person, and, like I mentioned earlier, all my behaviors were very unhealthy. They were healthy behaviors, but I would obsess about them. And what I can say what God has done for me is I wanted to do just that. I wanted to be obsessive with God. So since I found Jesus, I have found patience. Not a lot of patience, but more patience than I've ever had in my life. I think about my steps now. It was something that I never did before. I pray before I do anything, mostly anything. I want to do better and be better for him. The fact that I have this powerful God who he loves me in spite of all of my crap. I just want to be a reflection of him and who he calls me to be.